So we want to download to our processor now. What we're going to do is we're going to open up our RSLogix 5000 software. I go into Rockwell software, RSLogix 5000. We're going to open it up. We're going to then have to browse for our backup once it opens eventually. We are going to look for our file. Here's our quick start window. Any recent files would be right here. I'm going to open up one I have on the desktop. You could just double click on the one you have on the desktop. You don't have to go through this. I could just open up this SimIO revision 1 folder. That's where my backups are stored. I'm going to download to my SoftLogix controller. That's going to be version 23. It says SoftLogix. Actually, I need to change that name. That's not right, but this one is correct. So version 23. We're going to open it up. It might take a little bit because each version is stored different. So we're actually right now in the background, it's closing this version of RSLogix 5000 and opening up the version I have installed, which is version 23. So it's going to look like it's locked up and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's actually closing the software and reopening it in the appropriate version. That's why your install of RSLogix 5000, by the time you're said and done with all the versions you need, is like 10 gigabytes. That's just the way it is. So we're going to open this up. Notice that you have your title bar, menu bar. Here's your toolbars right here with all your programming stuff. It says we're offline right now. We're going to look at the status bar and it's grayed out. That means we're not connected. We've opened up our program. Now we have to download it. We can look at it on our navigation window right here. We want to see what it looks like. We can hit the main button and we can open it up. You'll see that it is a blank program. As a start stop, I can browse for different things. Probably need to get rid of that. This is our controller organizer right here. This is where we get to everything, and we can see our communication modules and make sure that everything is talking. Here's our view pane where we actually see everything. We can look at our program here. I have a program in here running some animation, so there is some stuff in here, right here. So you kind of see it's a window inside a window. Do you guys see that? I got a window in a window. I can click this button. If I click this button, I close the whole thing. So don't click the top right X, but I can click any X in here and it will be just fine. I can open up our I/O tags and everything like here. We don't have any program tags because we don't have a program. We can open up our controller tags. Here is all of our I/O cards that we have and our addresses. We can view that data. So let's go ahead and we're going to download the program. That's going to require us to click Communications. Well, what do we got here? RSLinks. This software is linked to RSLinks. It's tied internally to it. So when I hit Who Active, it comes up with a little Who Active window. I'm going to select the appropriate PLC. Mine is .15. It's on the little white tag on your processor. So I'm going to pick that. Notice that I'm only selecting the Ethernet card. I have to hit the plus button and drill down inside it. Here's my back plane. If I were to look right here, this whole thing is the back plane, but I have to dig down inside it right here. So I'm going to go down in here. Here I'll see these first two. These are just communication cards reserved for the software because it is a simulation. You typically won't see that. I'll see my processor is installed in slot 2. I'll click on it, and then I will click Download. This is a ControlLogix. It doesn't matter what slot the processor is. It doesn't always have to be on the left side. Are you with me? In fact, I could have multiple processors controlling multiple lines in the same rack. rack and processor doesn't mean anything anymore. We'll have a little discussion on that in a little bit. But so we're going to click on slot 2, and then we're going to click on download, and then we're going to hit download. And hopefully it will complete here in just a second. There it goes. Notice I'm online. Notice this path. Each one of these programs that I've given you are exactly the same. They will go in any other person's processor on the network. But I'd like to set a project path, because if we look right here under this drop down, I have a go offline, different things, run mode. I want to make sure that I'm always communicating with my individual program with my individual processor. And so if I go who active again, you see this little button that says set project path. If I'll click that, whatever I'm talking to is now the permanent configuration, and it will speed up communications, and it won't be looking for a bunch of stuff. It'll automatically jump to the one that it's supposed to. So I'll hit set project path. And this doesn't change anything or anything else, but notice that now it's highlighted this address, and it just says every time I open this particular program, the first thing I'm going to look for is that IP address. And then I'll just close it. Next, I want to make sure that my program goes into run mode. Right now, if I look on my processor, I'll see that the run light is not lit. I could change the key switch, but I want to leave mine in remote. Remote means I'm able to change the function remotely with a PC. So what I want to do is hit my drop down, and I want to put it in run mode. Yes. Now, once I get to that point, I've built you guys a virtual button station for you guys to use, so you don't have to get up from your desk. Aren't you happy? Because we can hook up real buttons, but then you got to get up and go push them, right? And so I'm going to open up my customized application that I've developed, SimIO, and there are two options with that one. There's one for the side and there's one for the top. You guys are on widescreen monitors, so I would shoot for the one on the side if I were you, because that'll give you the most view area. You can do top if you'd like, but I'm going to do side on mine. So I'm going to double click that one. And this is a Factory Talk View SE application, like the touch screens are out in your factory. So that's what we have here. And you'll get a knowledge screen that says, please do not copy or distribute this software, because very soon will be for sale, this application. And we'll just click, yes, I understand that, because you really can't copyright protect an application here. So this just says you agree not to share, distribute, or copy this program. We'll hit acknowledge. Yours may or may not populate with everything. It depends on what programs people have loaded. But if you've loaded the program and put it into run, it should show up. These buttons will automatically populate with the IP address installed in the processor, which was a little trick it took me a little bit to do. So I'm going to click on the button with my IP address. And when I do that, it should open up. It's going to turn red, which means I've connected to it, which means if you see a red one, that's a button you don't want to click, because that belongs to your neighbor, you with me? Belongs to your neighbor. We'll try it again. And now I have my buttons working, and if it's the default program, that motor should be spinning around, nothing grayed out, should have the appropriate IP address listed, which I'm not sure. That doesn't look right. I clicked the wrong one, that's why. I'm on 15, so I clicked the wrong one. Be careful. Here we go, I'm connected to 15. And so that pretty much concludes. You've downloaded the program. I'm going to stop the broadcast and you guys give it a shot.